Hi, everyone. This is Suzanne Wagner, and I'm going on a neurotic binge with this eclipse cycle, this lunar eclipse that's happening on the 25th, which is on Monday. And I think it's because of my clients that I'm talking to, and what I keep noticing is the pattern. So, being a psychic is not just about being intuitive, but actually noticing the repeating patterns that keep coming in. And we feel an eclipse 6 weeks before and 6 weeks after the eclipse. And so the behavior that is happening for all of us right now and the stresses and strains that everybody is feeling are because of this eclipse energy coming in. So I know I've done 2 articles on the eclipse already, but I'm doing a third one. And this one is called The Lunar Eclipse. Here we come. Relationships are important, but do you know why? Well, that's going to be the part of the answer you are seeking with this lunar eclipse in Libra. Libra loves to promote harmony in communications, especially in relationships. All those in our lives that are important are here to show us a mirror of sorts. They are going to reflect back to us aspects either within or behaviors that we do externally. Those external behaviors we often cannot see clearly. I remember gurus saying that each of us could be in a room with 1,000 people, but we will energetically find those souls that are attractive to us, that will mirror our wounds, trigger us to act out, and that is how we figure out what we are still trying to heal. But back to the question on why we need relationships. We are social creatures, after all, and all our relationships are about recreating patterns from our life that are not yet fully healed. Each of us is playing out our own Broadway production, with us being the lead character. We are drawn to certain characters, and the ways that these characters interrelate are often familiar scenarios that model our current conditioning. But this show is a repeating pattern of dysfunction until we become aware. This eclipse is all about that new level of awareness that is being asked of us. If we cannot see what we are doing and what is repeating endlessly in our lives, then we have not yet woken up. Add to this eclipse cycle the fact that the South Node is also in Libra, and that is the kicker. This new energy is helping us to see that we are finally really tired of all this nonsense. The new battle cry is, enough is enough. Once again, we are exhausted enough by the endless looping that we can finally break free of the traps of our own mind. This is an interesting dynamic during this eclipse, and that is also why it feels so intense leading into it. Let's look at the pushes and the pulls. The moon and the South Node are in Libra. The sun, Mercury, Chiron, and in the North Node are in Aries. Aries is the god of war, and Libra is ruled by the goddess of love. The phrase, make love, not war, comes to mind. Libra wants to keep the peace. It is less about themselves and more about making others happy. But Aries wants to win at any cost. It is all about asserting dominance, being competitive, and at its worst, an almost narcissistic selfishness. It does not care if anyone else loses. It only cares about getting what it wants. And Aries' approach is all about action and then reaction. The word instinctual applies to an Aries mindset. Libra likes to make the rules and then remind everybody that they agreed to those rules. Yes, we need rules of law, but currently not even governments are following their own rules of law. That says a lot. This is why there is so much energy in Aries at the moment. Aries could care less about the rules and operates from a place that we should instinctually respond to the actions of others with our own definitive actions. We are seeing that being played out in the Ukraine-Russian conflict and the Israel-Gaza fiasco. Anyone with an ounce of common sense knows that moving from the Aries instinct, if it is not balanced, cannot justify harming others or justifying selfish and greedy behavior. The lesson to take home under this astrology is about noticing that when we judge or criticize others, we are denying their rights to exist. When we judge others, we have a deep-seated, unhealed identity wound. With Chiron conjuncting Mercury and the North Node, this is the moment to see the pattern in order to begin to heal the problem. This lunar eclipse allows us to begin to see the threads of our own wounding and to begin to untangle them. While we are a part of this world, we do not need to take on the wounding of this world. That will lead us to the next question with the solar eclipse on April 8th. Just how are we supposed to do that? How do we heal while not taking on the wounding of this world? How do we let go of feeling worthless and not worthy? How do we embrace everyone's right to exist? When we allow others to determine that the very being of others has no intrinsic value, we allow a type of seething rage to continue to burn in our world, and it will burn it to the ground. When we do not label their terrible behavior as wrong, we give that rage permission to act out on innocent people. And the good news is that the battle cry for both eclipses is the same. Enough is enough. Thanks, everyone.